Hi guys, welcome back to Cooking with the Frisbees, and today we're growing and checking on progress to see what's going on. Look at my beautiful sunflower.
The second tour of the season.
It is, and today is June 9th? 10th. And it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do for my peppers because they're struggling this year. So I read that the banana water is the best for peppers, tomatoes, and flowers. So I have 2 containers of banana water, and I'm gonna go down there and get it on them. So come with me, and then we can talk about my jungle of tomatoes. These are some of the healthiest tomatoes I've ever had. So.
Oh, Keith's tray. Wait a minute. Talk about the tray.
Yes. These are salvaged from an old grill, and I can tell you, it's so simple to have them here. It's just a little extra space to plop stuff down on.
See, when I tell you we don't throw things away, we don't throw them away. Now those things sat in the basement for 2 years. Oh no.
I know, it looks like it blew over or something.
Yep.
Or that squirrel probably.
Something knocked it over.
Knocked it over, because it's been pretty windy and it hasn't ever knocked over before.
That's the second or third one.
Yeah, I know, I keep buying them. Okay, so come back here and let's talk peppers. So, although these guys are in much better shape than when I originally planted them, they are just not really producing. So they're not even strong enough to produce anything. So they told me that banana water is great for them. So I have 2 of these jars, and I'm gonna go ahead and water around each of these with these 2 jars. And then I'm gonna take the actual banana peels that are left over, and I'm going to bury them in between each of the rows. So it'll still continue to give that potassium that they want so very much. So I'm just sprinkling it around them, and I have, like I said, I have 2 jars of this, so I'm being pretty generous. And then this one here, we'll finish up these last 2. These are the strongest ones, and these are those red sugar peppers that we got from the Mises. And they're really strong. And there appears to be something over here. I think it's a flower, but I have no idea.
It's a volunteer of some sort.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what comes up. I'm just leaving it. Okay, and the last of it. And then, just going to put my gloves on and just dig little holes. Oh wow, this soil is super dry.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is the water on?
It should. You said you left it on.
I did. It's dry even down the bottom?
Yeah, really dry.
Maybe I need to check these hoses.
These are the old hoses too, Keith.
Make sure those are functioning properly.
These are a little slimy. But no worries. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep going and just ripping these apart and just throwing them in to the soil. So this is really no different if you think about composting. This is really no different, right? Because you're taking your kitchen scraps, putting it into a bin and letting it sit and decompose. So this will end up doing the same thing pretty much. All right, and when I'm done with this, we'll take a little tour of the garden and show you what else I'm growing, because it is doing lovely. There seems to be more moisture back here.
Maybe the hose is clogged up here. I'll just have to run the system manually, and maybe it's just not getting enough time.
How long do you have it on each bed, 10?
Like 30 minutes.
Oh, 30 minutes.
Some are 25, some are 30. I'll have to go back and look.
Well, they are drip lines, so they're not supposed to be running at full speed, so. All right, I will finish this up in a minute. Let's go take a tour of the rest of the garden. See what's growing. Okay, so these are my eggplants, which have really come a long way. This one in the middle was the last one that I planted, and it wasn't in good shape when I put it in the ground, but it was still alive at the time. So we'll see what ends up happening with it. If it takes, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. And remember, these are two kinds. So I have the black beauties in the back and then the little Hansels up front. And once these guys start producing, boy, whew, they just go crazy.
Potatoes are out of control.
The potatoes are ridiculous, but I'm very happy with the way that they're coming along. Okay, so here is the cucumber and watermelon bed, and we just got these little guys everywhere. These are the little pickling ones that I got, so they're only about 2.5 inches, like little gherkin ones, but they get about 1 inch around, so they're like really squatty, but they're so much fun. And then my watermelon, which I learned something new about. We actually have two. It's just this one is much further along. But I heard that as soon as the very first sign of fruit, so about golf ball size, you take it off. And you don't let it finish coming to full maturity. They say that makes them flourish. So we'll see. We'll find out. My romaine is doing well. I took some for a salad the other night.
Yeah, it is still doing very well.
We've had lovely, cool weather.
Cool evenings.
Yeah, so not cold, but cool.
We don't know what this is, but...
We don't know what this is. This was a volunteer. I think it's a bean.
It's vining, so
it
I
might
think it's
be a cucumber.
Bean. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what it ends up doing. But these are my Armenian cucumbers. That they're actually not a cucumber. They're actually a type of melon, but they look just like a cucumber. So, but they are a little bit longer and variegated. So I don't have any of these yet, I don't think. These are regular cucumbers, slicing cucumbers. This one's a little wonky, but the rest of these seem to be really nice.
Yeah, they're kind of like curling.
Yeah, but the ones behind them are not. See these ones?
Okay.
And this one here. See how nice
So just the first one.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about them.
That's a really long one.
Mm-hmm. So, and then here's my peas, which is a bit of a sad story.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't think it's terrible, but I mean, obviously
they're cool weather plants.
They are cool weather plants.
It's 80 degrees out here. They're not going to flourish.
Yeah. So we'll. I'm going to pick whatever I can pick off of them because I'm making paella tomorrow night, and I would like to have some fresh peas in it. So I'll get what I can get. These are my beans. Y'all remember those really long beans that I grew last year and the year before? So these are them, but they're really struggling over here. Something seems to be getting at them, some sort of a bug. So I brought out my trusty sprayer of neem oil. I'll show you. Keith got this for me off of Amazon. This is the neem oil that I always use, but I use it in a spray. Now I have a sprayer.
Makes it so much easier, right?
So much easier, and I can really get it all around the plant, not just like on top of the leaf, but all around it. So yeah, see, these guys are just Something just obliterated it. You can see these.
That's part of gardening.
It is, unfortunately, but I think I can save them. I mean, I did.
Maybe they'll get stronger.
And I did plant a few additional ones, so we'll see if that goes better. I think some of the problem is the dogs are trying to get at this hay grass, and I guess it's sweet. They really like it. Problem is that they're pulling up the roots of the plants because they're trying to pull up the grass. So, my lovelies. This in here, believe it or not, is spinach, but it has bolted. And I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna let it replant itself in here. And then hopefully in the fall, when it's cooler out, it'll come back. So I'm gonna leave the neem oil right here so that I remember to come back and spray these guys. But guess what? Look at this. Look, honey.
Wow, wow, wow.
Look at all of them. So many. This is summer squash.
All right, buddy.
Isn't that cool? And then these, so that one is, the row is this crooked neck yellow squash. These are all zucchinis. So these are either yellow zucchinis or green zucchinis. And I think we got our first zucchini. I think that's it right down there.
Let's see.
See it?
Ah, okay.
Let's see if we have any other ones. Oh, we do. Look, we got our first yellow one.
Oh gosh, can you even get in there?
I know, it's so tiny. Isn't that cool? I'm so excited. One on there. And what I've been doing with these guys is really paying attention to the borers, the insects, the powdery mold that the leaves get. Just being super attentive to them, making sure they have everything they need, while trying not to dust any of the flowers, because we still want the flowers and the pollinators to come by. So I am just using some 7 Dust at the very base of the plant, right where it meets the dirt. You can see this was already split from a borer, but I think I caught it in time because I don't see, it hasn't moved up at all. So, but I'm being super, super attentive to these guys, just trying to make sure that I don't end up with a bunch of borers. Let's talk tomatoes, since I have to grab some over here.
Forest of tomatoes.
My literal forest of tomatoes. So I actually have some that I need to harvest on the other side.
Another pop-up tray. Bam.
There it is. Okay, so this whole side is these little golden nugget.
Oh, wow.
I know, right?
Got a whole thing of them in there.
I don't know how to get them out. Okay, there we go. Aren't they cute?
Can we try one?
Yeah. I don't use any pesticides on these.
Let's see.
What say you?
I love the flavor. They're mushier than the red ones.
Yeah, they don't have that pops to the skin.
Yeah, it doesn't pop in your mouth. Oh, you got some more to the left over there too.
Oh, yep. So, and you'll
Bentley,
notice,
stop eating that grass.
You'll notice that these are a little more bushy, and that's by design. These would typically run down the grass. So I'm leaving them, I'm letting them go a little bit more, leaving them a little bit bushier. And my hope is that I'm still gonna get a great yield from them. I'll do a little bit of pruning on these guys, but nowhere near what I'm doing to the other big boy potatoes.
Yeah, we used to really cut back so that there were no leaves or stems at the base of the plants. And look at something like this, like this one we're just letting kind of lay here. I put some sticks here to kind of help support it a bit. But
Yeah, I'm just kind of letting them do their thing and see what they're happiest with. Where did I put my basket? Oh, I left it down there. Well, I guess I'll have to use my tray.
you won't.
No, I won't.
You can't leave those there. You can put them in the groove.
There we go. So that whole side is the Goldens. This whole side is the red. I've only had one turn red so far, and I ate it. So, but again, I'm kind of letting these guys do what they want to, not really forcing them in any direction. I have some of them that are tied up a little bit, just because it was getting really weedy and full down there. So
There's
I might have to do
on there though. Nothing's turned green, but
red.
Or red, but you can see
And there's lots of clusters.
there's lots of clusters.
There's tons of clusters. So I think it's healthy and happy. So I'm going to let it keep going. Probably need to tie this one up.
Look how thick the stalks are compared to
They
her
really
fingers.
are.
And we were worried about it because they got so leggy. We brought them out much later than we did, so they were like 2 feet tall and they were leggy. But I think that's going to be the way to go. Like
Yeah, 'cause
they're
clearly-
basically supporting themselves.
Yeah, clearly they're doing just fine. So this side over here, you can see in here, these are lemon boys. So they're just like the big boy tomato, the red ones, but these ones are yellow. So we've got lots of them, lots of clusters in there. Some more clusters here. Oh, look at this. This one has got clusters everywhere, like every level. So these guys they don't have nearly the amount of foliage, because I've been really kind of staying on top of these guys and making sure that I keep clipping them back. I did accidentally get a little aggressive yesterday, and I broke this one off at the top. I hope that doesn't kill it, because that one's got some nice clusters on it. And then on this side, these are the red boys, and these ones went in the ground kind of wonky. So they've got these really weird stalks. So we've had to try and tie them up the best we could. And I think I could probably tie some up more. But these guys don't have quite as much thickness. Oh, and there's my basil in the middle. It's some pretty good basil. It's some pretty basil.
So we've also heard that by planting the basil between the tomato plants, it keeps the hornworms at bay.
And so far, knock on wood, I have not had hornworms, and I am out here every single day.
Beth is out here with her purple
My little black light.
at night searching for those little babies.
I do, because they can ruin an entire plant in one night.
Yeah.
Overnight, they can literally ruin it.
Just decimate it.
So I'm just trying to stay really on top of it. Oh, those squash flowers just reminded me of that time we did the cheese stuffed flowers.
Oh yeah, squash flowers.
Yes, and we fried them. Oh my gosh, they were so good. Okay, so over here, can you believe this? This is like unreal. This is my kale.
just like, and last year we struggled.
Yeah.
And the year prior we struggled, but it wasn't this bad. So
Right. So clearly, and we did make some changes in hopes of deterring some water that was coming down. So after the grass would be treated and it would rain, it would run straight down into the herb garden and in here. So we put up some little barriers. The herb garden is flourishing, so I'm really hoping. Oh, yes, your experiment. I have to take a look.
Oh yes, we have to come to the experiment. We had so many tomato plants.
Oh my gosh.
That I was like, I'm just gonna plant them because
You have some.
oh my goodness, because tomato plants, as you know, run along the ground like a vine. Actually have tomatoes on there.
That's pretty cool.
So I just stuck these all in the ground over here and said, let's see what, now that one's not, oh, that's a new one that I put in though.
Yeah, that's the one that broke off. The top broke off.
Yeah, so that may come back, I don't know, but look at it. I mean, it's doing its thing.
It sure is. Let's go up top and show what we got potted.
We bought some more pots today, but
Not for
veggies.
vegetables. Just for pretty. Hi, buddy. Yes, everybody knows you're here. Everybody, she's gonna go get her ball. Okay, so up here, this has a cage around it because for whatever reason, I have no idea how that got stuck in there like that, I don't know. These are little yellow tomatoes, the seeds that I got from the Mises. We'll see how they do, but every morning I would come out here and they would be dug up and I'd replant them. So they're really squatty, but so I put this around them and since then I haven't had any. I think it's the birds coming over and digging in them. This is another transplant Keith tried.
every time we break or prune, I'm just gonna stick it in the ground.
Just to see what happens. And these are more peppers. So we're really working on our pepper game this year. Trying to find out where the best place is. So I have them in different parts of the property. Of course, the biggest bed being a whole dedicated bed that has some of everything. We've got jalapenos, shoshitos, poblanos, the sweet cherry reds, or sugar, what did he call them? Red sugar?
I don't remember.
I think it's red sugar something. Well, here it is. Yeah, red sugar pepper. So we're just kind of putting them different places to see what works best. Keith is hell-bent on getting bell peppers because he eats one every single day.
This tomato plant's starting to yellow over here. Might need some fertilizer.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I want to do today is use some of that liquid fertilizer and do the tomatoes and probably the beans and maybe even the cucumbers.
Yeah.
And
This one
obviously,
just, I mean, it was so healthy, but it looks like it's starting to yellow.
well, remember these aren't self-watering, so if it
Yeah,
doesn't
I need
rain
to
and we
water.
don't water them,
Yeah.
they don't get watered. But it's got lots of fruit on it, so maybe it just needs water. So this one is one we literally stuck in this pot.
Yep, just stuck it in the pot.
And it's growing. I don't know why. It's just growing. So look, he's getting a little yellow too. So these guys obviously need some water.
Yep.
But again, I'm not really pruning these guys. I'm not really doing anything to them. Just kind of letting them go and see what they want to do.
The most I do is pull the yellow leaves off. It's the most I'll do.
Yeah. Another pepper, tomato, pepper, and
Berries.
berries. So let's see what they're doing. I mean,
We just kind of let these alone.
but I think we're gonna have to do something for them. There's a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they're still on here. Last year they were really bitter.
A lot of the birds come and grab these things.
Yeah, as
Here's
soon as
another I've got a tomato on this one. That
No,
I
you
stuck.
don't.
Yes, I do.
Where? Oh
the
my
far
gosh!
side. Look
I
at that.
can't even believe it.
Look at that.
You sure do.
Tomato.
And I said, "There's no way these guys are gonna live."
It's a very shallow
Bed.
bed, but the mint is starting to come back a little bit too.
Yeah. You can almost not kill that stuff.
Mint?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be able to.
I know.
You gotta show them the mint patch over here.
Oh yeah, this is a very healthy mint patch over here.
Willie's got to come out today.
Well, we got to go get all the pots and the soil and stuff. So we've decided, because it's hard to grow anything down the side of that riverbed, we're gonna go ahead and split some of the hostas and put them in pots, because these things seem to live through anything on a decline.
And these were cuttings that we
These were
took.
cuttings from the neighbor.
Our neighbor's yard, yep.
Look at this
mint.
size of this mint.
Put your hand next to it. This is
Look at this
comparison.
leaf.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
I put some compost in there too.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Yeah,
I
just give them a little
fertilized it.
extra.
Yeah, it's
Why
supposed to keep
not?
away mosquitoes and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you can make teas and stuff with it too, or a cocktail.
Oh, what time is it? 2:30.
All right, guys, so that's kind of it. Those
What
are
about your top
potatoes.
pots?
Oh, these beds. So
They
yeah,
look like they need water bad.
they do. They haven't had water in 4 days. No, they had that one overnight shower. We had pretty good storms Sunday night. But yeah, so this bed is kind of a hodgepodge. I started it a long time ago. It's got broccoli and cauliflower in it. I just wanted to see if it was possible to get anything to grow. In the spring, they just didn't do anything.
No.
They just don't like
It's warm weather.
it gets too hot during the day. So, and then this was all radishes. I've already pulled them all up. I had replanted a few more here. So, yeah, I think this is going to end up just being a radish and beet bed. Although my beets aren't really taken either. We'll see. I'm going to keep trying. This is my sign for the lawn people, because their blower is so strong. It snaps plants in half.
It does.
And it just breaks my heart. So I got to get
I've got a stand for that.
So, but
And the potatoes over here again.
these are the more potatoes. They need some water too.
Yeah, they need water bad.
For sure. But yeah, so June 10th, 2023, spring summer garden, and so far so good.
All right, guys.
Thanks for joining. See you soon.
See you soon, guys.